People died for a free South Africa. Many languished in prison, families were torn apart, human dignity was stripped away. Then enter democracy. So does that mean the sacrifices dissipate and government is responsible for everything in our lives? Let's get started. Good evening and welcome to the Democracy Gauge. I'm Bongani Bingwa. Now on this show, we look at the South African story, particularly of course over the last 25 years of democracy. We reflect on how we got here, we assess where we are and where we might be going. Today we're going to self-analyze. Is selfishness or selflessness what's required to make a democracy work? That's our question. Is there an awareness or a realization that for a successful democracy to thrive, we need active citizen participation? Are we so selfish that we expect everything to come to us? What effort have you put to make this democracy work? And that's why we're asking the poll question tonight. Are we a me first nation? You choose from our standard three colors. Green is for yes, of course red is for no, but this is yellow, isn't it? So that's for maybe. You can interact with our poll on sabcnews.com and you can extend, of course, the conversation on Facebook and Twitter, remembering our hashtags SABCDG25 and SABC News. Now, in 1992, the NGO Gift of the Givers was established. It's now the largest disaster response NGO on the continent. In the last 27 years, Gift of the Givers have delivered life-saving aid in the form of search and rescue teams, medical supplies, food and water to millions of people around the world. Now, our reporter Hitekani Makweza is at the Gift of the Givers headquarters in Johannesburg, ready to tell us the story of why this organization does what it does so well. Hitekani, I mean, even already behind you, I can see the supplies. They're always ready to go, the Gift of the Givers, are they not?
Exactly, Bongani. I mean, this organization has responded to disasters literally across the globe, from earthquakes in Indonesia to facilitating the rescue of people like Stephen McGowan, to devastating droughts right here in South Africa, even to feeding the hungry. These people that you see behind me are people from Alexandra. The track record for Gift of the Givers is undoubtedly humbling, and so are the people that work for this organization. And I'm joined with two of them right now, in Dr. Yakub and Emily Smith. Now, Doc, to start with you, I just want to understand, we know that Gift of the Givers is quite selfless, but what are the principles that really drive this organization to do what it does?
Well, the main principle is, I think, the spiritual basis from which Dr. Suleiman started the organization. And most people know that history, when he was given kind of an instruction by his spiritual master in Turkey, 1992. And from there, everybody that's joined has been actually on a voluntary basis in terms of the work that we do. And that same spirit of selfless giving, benefiting mankind in the service of God, and without any discrimination, without looking at any color, class or creed. That's what drives you. And you know there's a higher purpose in life. Everything is not about yourself. It's of giving. And when you give, that's when you get back in a different form. And that self-satisfaction and the gratification that we get. And that's running right through the entire organization, from the workers, from the leadership, from the volunteers, from the medical team, the search and rescue team. It's like prevalent everywhere. And when we ask for volunteers at any particular time in Mozambique, Saturday morning, Dr. Borat called me from Beira and said we need volunteers. Within 3 hours, we had a medical team ready. We had our medicines ready. Even the people that are our suppliers and our vendors, they may not be part of the organization, but they know what we stand for. They were even going to open up their stores because it was a Saturday morning. They waited to say, like, when can your truck pick up? They go out of the way. One of the chief buyers in that particular wholesaler group stood there and waited for my order and started speaking to me. So the driving force is actually the spirit of giving.
Sure. Now, Doc, I understand for every leader who starts an organization this big, the vision has to be that big. But how do you successfully filter that selflessness to every one of your staff? I know you have so many people that are support staff that you work with. How do you make sure that every individual harnesses that vision that was started by your leader?
Again, it's a simple thing. You know, we are taught from school, from grade 1, maybe even grade R, lead by example. And that's what happened here. Dr. Suleiman started off, he led by example within his family, and the people that became associated with him, like myself and others. It's following that and obviously your own spirit. And it's only like-minded people that will get involved. So those that see it, there's no like instructions given that this is our vision and our mission like you would find in a corporate entity where somebody is then inducted. Obviously, there will be some people who may not find their particular comfort zone within the organization, possibly, but that spirit of giving and the softness and touching heart to heart, when you go out on a mission, a new volunteer will see the lovely smile and face of a person that's underprivileged, a malnourished kid smiling. So obviously it is this kind of thing that you're giving that comes through you, and when you're doing things purely for the sake of the Almighty, for the Creator, for mankind, for creation, people see it and they latch onto it. It's like your pet, your dog. He'll see you, what type of person you are, and he's going to love you. It's the same thing.
Lovely, thank you. Quite inspiring things there, Dr. Yaqub. I'm going to come to you, Emily. Now, I understand you do quite a lot of projects and missions in and around South Africa. How taxing are those missions? I understand sometimes you sleep in very uncomfortable situations. How taxing are those to you as an individual, and what makes it worth it?
I think just being part of a magnificent group at the end makes it worth it. When we talk about taxing, we can't really say that it's taxing on us, because we are prepared to go into any circumstance, any situation. That they already brief you before you leave the depot. They will say to you, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know under what circumstances you're going to work. But when you get there, you will make the best of whatever facility there is and what they provide for you.
All right, lovely. Thank you so much, guys. Bongani can tell you this. It's really, just being here is really inspiring. It's an amazing feeling and environment, being surrounded by really selfless people. And you know that Mozambique, of course, has been hit by the cyclone Idai, and some of the packages and the assistance is being packed right behind me right there to be transported, of course, to areas that are badly hit in Mozambique for that assistance. But I can tell you this, just being here, I feel inspired already, and I hope you as well are inspired at home. But for now, though, Bongani, is back to you.
Thank you very much, Tekani. I mean, what is it about loving your neighbor? That's exactly what the gift of the givers put into practice. Now, the GEM project is an initiative that offers a mobile payment platform to reward social action in South Africa. You and I can GEMS by volunteering time and effort to help improve our communities. It's built on the premise of good deeds, great rewards. Our guest today is in our Cape Town studios. He's a really altruistic proponent of this philosophy. His name is David Shields, the director of the GEM project. David, good evening to you. Thank you so much for talking to us on the Democracy Gauge. Just explain exactly what the GEM project is all about.
Thank you so much for having me, Bongani. I think you did a great job in explaining it yourself. But effectively, the GEM project acts as a smartphone app and a USSD platform, which is a mobile directory that enables any user to be able to log on and find out where and how to do good deeds in their community. So, for instance, you would log on either the Android or iOS app, or dial *120 star GEM1 hash, and for free on the USSD platform. So anyone with a mobile phone can access the GEM platform. You would then find out which activity kind of strikes your interest, and once you volunteered as a token of appreciation to say thank you very much for coming, you're rewarded with GEMs, which is like a do-good currency of sorts. So that do-good currency on our platform then enables you to redeem for different rewards. including data, airtime, electricity, movie tickets. And really it's just a way to encourage people to be more proactive and more productive in their society and in their communities.
So is it about responding to activities that are already designed, or can people, for example, upload information about needs they might have and assistance they might need in a particular community?
That's a great question. So initially we wanted to have it the second way, but what we found was that unfortunately for us in a large segment of South Africa, there exist NGOs that are unfortunately technologically inept. So it would be difficult for them to facilitate communications via the back end. So what we did was we established connections and communications with NGOs in some of the bigger metros, and on an ongoing basis, through our platform, users are able to find out where and how to go about giving their time and efforts, and this more or less happens every week and month. So it's on an ongoing basis between them. We also play host to various different initiatives around the country at different points in time, and these are a little bit more sporadic. So things like recycling, cleanups. We do a lot of events with our amazing partner brand South Africa and the Play Your Part campaign. So on that front, sometimes they're sporadic and sometimes they're ongoing.
David, the nature of sacrifice and servitude is altruistic. Some might say, isn't there something a little selfish that we have to entice people with rewards to participate?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question again, and I'm so glad you asked it. It's something that has popped up time and again over the last 4 years of GEM being in operation. So I think one thing we have to do is just take a step back and remind ourselves of exactly who the target demographic of GEM is. So on one hand, you've got the suburbanite, let's say, who has a job, 9 to 5, maybe they've got a family, maybe they're studying tertiary education on the side. They are wanting to give back and contribute to South Africa in such a way that is meaningful. So that means not just give their money, but to maybe get stuck in and go above and beyond what's expected, the call of duty. So they would log on the app and find out, all right, cool, there's a soup kitchen on Saturday. Let me go and help out. Let me go and invite some friends. And, you know, they end up getting a whole lot more than a small amount of gems, which we use as a token of appreciation to say thanks. So in this way, it's not so much an incentive. So the 15 or 20 gems that you get, 1 gem is equivalent to 1 rand, is not going to help you pay off your car or your insurance premium, but it may keep you coming back the next time. So as a suburbanite, you are in turn able to donate your gems back to the NGO to use for themselves. So if they need to buy prepaid electricity or airtime or data. Now, the other side of the coin is, of course, the low-income market, where some of the NGOs are placed in communities that don't have access to opportunities and resources. Now, if I'm trying to, just put food on the table, altruism is way at the back of my mind. Although I'm sure that we're aware the poorest in our society are actually the most giving. So you've got people that are in the know, that have the acquired skills and knowledge. They're almost siphoned off from the rest of society. And
David,
so when you
I'm
look
afraid,
at the township environment, for instance,
David, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. I think we're not hearing each other so well at this stage, but we'll leave it there. But thank you very much. David Shields there, the director of the GEMS project. And really it is all about making sure that we don't only receive, but we give back, because those who have to bring in those who have not. All right, we'll be coming, of course, back in just a moment, but a reminder of our poll question: are we a Me First nation? Green is yes, yellow is maybe, red is no. After the break, we'll return back to Hitekani, who's at the Gift of the Givers warehouse in Johannesburg, with today's edition of The People's View.
On Trends Travel, we bring you a full guide on all things lifestyle related. With so much to discover, we give you comprehensive reviews of places to visit, music, travel, and food. We also explore the arts, whether on or off stage. All this and more, be sure to tune into Trends Travel Saturdays at 5:30 p.m.
The Mushweshwe Walk is an annual event commemorating Morena Mushweshwe while learning about the history and heritage of the Basotho. Catch this on Trains Travel on SABC News Channel 404, Saturday at 5:30 p.m.
Get the facts first.
In 1994, ek dink was ons almal was ook baie excited geweest.
For South Africa, art was never a good thing.
From a footballing point of view, there was never a separation.
Get to the truth.
There's still some serious issues in South Africa.
Maar ek dink die regering kan regtig probeer om harder te werk om
apartheid in Sutlile, jy is like batho ba rena ba democracy. Batho ba batsho, e seng makgowa.
See what it all really means.
Ek is geel, want dit is die kleur in die verkeerslig wat vir jou sê wees versigtig.
I still give South Africa red.
We are somewhere in between.
We're giving our democracy a green for sure. We're very happy.
Democracy Gauge, weekdays at 5:30 on SABC News, Channel 404.
This is the SABC News Channel, independent and impartial.
When news happens around the world, we will bring it to you. We will keep you informed. Each day, every day, our news team digs deeper, getting all the facts to provide comprehensive reports to what's important to you. We cover all corners of the globe. SABC News, independent and impartial.
More residents are barricading the streets, preventing cars from moving. Even police are battling to try and make their way through. They're saying basically that they're sick and tired of the city of Joburg.
Our police, they are roaming around with events here in Alexandra, taking bribes to these Somalian shops.
People, they're not working here. Firms are churching out.
Us as journalists have been on the firing line, who have been asked by the residents not to shoot them when they burn these tires.
Welcome back. I keep saying it's all about you here on the Democracy Gauge because the people's view allows you to interact with us and to share your views. Sometimes we go to social media, but at times, of course, we're going to go directly into communities to hear what people have to say. So we're getting back to the gift of the givers with our reporter Hitekani Makwete, who's at that warehouse to find out some views from locals who are there. Hitekani, we're back to you. You've got some of the people who are recipients of the incredible work that's being done by the gift of the givers.
Well, Bongani, not exactly recipients, but recipients on behalf of charity organizations that they represent. In a time where it certainly looks like the country is forsaking teachings and traits of people like Nelson Mandela and Chris Hani and Winnie Madikizela Mandela. These two young people, young youth advocates, are going the opposite direction in giving the time and certainly resources to ensure that other people benefit from what they're giving. And that I'm talking about Tinyiko and Lepi. Sorry, Lepi. Now, we'll start with you, Tinyiko. What is it exactly that you guys do?
All right, what we do is we go to communities and we assist where we are needed. For one, for instance, currently we have the issue of Alexandra, where people were demonstrating, and there's other people that have lost quite a lot in terms of groceries and furniture and stuff. So we partnered with Gift of the Givers to give back to the community. But mainly what we do is to take care of our communities, going back to those people that are broken, bring about hope and healing where they need us, because we are not only focused on community development, but we also focus on programs that have to do with youth development as far as economic development is concerned, also exposure programs. So mainly we are in a youth organization that opens up a platform for young people and the community at large to be able to access all those opportunities available out there.
Great. Now, Lepi, you hear a lot of people say that the government owes me this, it owes me a job, it owes me a salary, it owes me opportunity. But you guys aren't saying that. And why is it that you've taken the direction that you have?
Good evening, everyone. What I would like to say is that, the government, obviously, with democracy, is the government of the people, by the people, for the people. So we're all in this, and we need to all live together, share together. I mean, as a youth advocate, I would say it gives me great pleasure to, when we do something and we put that smile on that person's face, it encourages us to do more. So that's what drives us as youth advocates.
Sure. Now, back to you, Tinyiko. We are in a situation where, like I said, it seems like people want or are owed or feel like the owed assistance beyond what it looks like the government can afford. It also looks like the selflessness of struggle heroes, the sung and unsung heroes of our nation, those traits and those characters aren't taken forward. Where do you think we went wrong?
I think where it went wrong is when we were promised a better life for all. Now, obviously, we want to depend on the government to do stuff for us, and without us really going out there and doing things for the community at large. So I believe if we had to go back to our true spirit of Ubuntu, where as Black African people, our life is about sharing, it's about giving, and that would really fix the broken part of our society. But also it's speaking into the legacy left behind by our struggle heroes. We haven't really lost that. The only challenge is that everyone thinks to help, you need to have money, right? So the difference with people like ourselves, as the Lead Me As I Lead You movement, being the youth advocates, is that we decided to be selfless, financially so. We dig into our own pockets. We make sure we give of our time. And like Lepi said, once we see people smile, once we see people happy and feel comfortable in their own spaces, then that's us having given back to the community. But if I were to send out a message to South Africans out there and the youth at large, is to say you don't need to have money for you to change the life of your community. Go out there, partner with organizations that are willing to open up their doors to help you, like with us. A practical example right now. I'm from Soweto, deep down in Sotra, and then I'm right here in Bramley, helping the community of Alexandra, people that don't even know me. But because of the partnership and relationship that I have with the gift of the givers, we are changing the world, we are changing our communities and giving back. So it's also, I think it's us not believing that money is rather, it's us believing that money is what it's more. Okay, to correct my statement, rather, I normally say that money is what am I saying? Legacy is worth more than money.
Lovely. You said it right there.
Yeah.
Right, that's it, Bongani. It seems like all hope is not lost. You heard it from young people that are carrying on the vision of people like Nelson Mandela and the struggle heroes that have gone before us.
Yes, indeed, Hitekane, really inspiring work there being done by the Gift of the Givers. Now, if you want to be part of the People's View in our next program, send us an email, dg25@sabc.co.za. We always also encourage you to send us videos to 065-862-4548 on the topic that we raise. So at the end of the show, I'll throw forward to tomorrow's topic. Send us your videos immediately and, of course, vote in our poll.
Legal hassles?
Clientele legal.
That's it. We lost. Problems with the neighbors?
Clientele legal.
Rental disputes? Advice on maintenance matters? Drawing up a will? Clientele Legal will speak up for you.
Clientele Legal not only solved my labour matter, but also restored my confidence, and I walked out there feeling bigger than when I walked in.
It's definitely a value for money. I didn't pay a cent.
and monthly premiums covered everything.
Take it or leave it.
Labor issues?
Clientele legal. This is unacceptable. I have rights.
Problems with a mechanic?
Clientele legal.
You need a lawyer. Professional lawyers, professional advice at an affordable price. SMS rights to 32281 and we'll call you back. SMS now.
Well, as you know, we've crisscrossed the country here for you on the Democracy Gauge to get the experiences of people around the country. How have they found democracy the last 25 years? All the stories are on our website, sabcnews.com/elections. And today we're telling the story of Jackie Dlamini, who is from Limpopo. Jackie is from the Mulman area in Mkhondo, where he has lived for most of his life. Here is his story.
Nangingijek Dlamini Sibongo ngakhona la eMunmani ngizalelwe la ngikhulele la selokhu ngaqala ukuvota ngo94 angitholi intuthuko kodwa lokho sikwenzile ipeaceful sizomkhomba ugovernment ngelinye ilanga ukuthi thina siphokophelele kuphi ngoba yena akasenzeli lutho sicindezelekile kugovernment wethu osimele njengezweni lonke lase South Africa asitholi intuthuko asitholi lutho asazi ukuthi thina siphila siwela ngakuliphi izwe ngoba asitholi intuthuko kodwa sinisaqala ukuvota 94 asivoti no more engifisa ukuthi ngimchasele kona ugovernment before election sifuna ukubethe sesikhombise okuthize la endaweni ukuthi singabantu nathi siyaphila ukuze sivote nathi asivoti noma ngiyabonga.
Right, before we say goodbye, let's take a look at the results from today's poll as they pop up on your screen. 64% yes, 4% say maybe, 32% an emphatic no. So that brings us then to the end of the show. Thank you for taking the time to watch and participate in our program. Now, tomorrow we're asking, has poetry lost its edge as a tool of transformation? Our poll is now open. You can choose from our 3 colors, but you can also send us your WhatsApp videos. So we want to see what you are thinking, where you are. And of course, if you want to find out all our stories, you can go to sabcnews.com/elections. If you want to be part of the People's View, you send us an email, dg25@sabc.co.za. The WhatsApp number to send your videos to is 065-862-4548. Well, that's it from Fortune, myself, and the rest of the team. Until tomorrow, ubusuku benzolo. Good night.
Is the SABC News Channel, independent and impartial.